Okay, welcome to another episode. What we're going to be doing today is another script that I've written. That this one I don't expect to get made. It's more something, an example of something that we see get made regularly and have for several decades. And it's called London Gangster 62. Thanks. Yeah, I'll probably keep that one. Right, so, this is something that I wrote really to sort of give an example of crime dramas and all of these kind of things that's sort of set in the past. I gave it like a number because you might have seen in the last sort of 5 or so years there was a series called This Is England. And it was like, This Is England 86, 88, 90. I think I've got all the years right there. And this one is 62, but it's London Gangsters. It's not... London is in England, obviously, but it's London Gangsters 62, so people know when it is. Now, what we might do is, if I were to develop this into a show, which I'm not expecting to do, but if we did, you go, all right, we'll do 65, and then we do 66, because we'd have like England winning the World Cup and stuff, because you'd have that in the background, like, oh, it's a goal, and then they're having, oh, I can't believe it. Then they're sort of having their conversations. What we have here, though, is a nice scene where we get to sort of introduce some characters, and I will tell you what the scene is about. Right, so scene 1, Alf and Bert are getting ready to wreak revenge on the Brown Street gang. As they would say, the Bran Street gang. Okay, so a bit like it's almost like changing the phonetics of Bran, so it's like bran flakes, Bran, but like with the A a bit long. Bran Street gang, who smashed a window. So I've helped you a bit with the spelling.
Yep.
Oh, that's what that means.
Right.
Yeah, it's a window.
It's a window.
They smashed, who smashed a window that belonged to Auntie Carol. See, I'm already finding the voice. Who might be the meanest of the lot, because she's like, matriarch of not the Brown Street gang, but our heroes, if you like. They are joined by Beth, who obviously nobody calls Beth, they call Beff, because that's what they would do, who is worried Bert has put her up the duff, which means pregnancy. Okay?
Yeah.
So already, there's so many stories here. We've got, what are these people like? Someone might be pregnant. A window's been broken. Okay, so you've got lots of interesting intrigue. Not just intrigue, but it's interesting intrigue. So, roles. I have to be in this one because we've got 4 roles, but we have, conveniently, 2 women and 2 men. So, who would like to be Auntie Carol?
I don't mind, I'm happy to do it.
Okay, you're happy to do Auntie Carol?
Happy to do that.
Right, which means that you will have to be...
Beff. Yeah.
Right, now, I think in this one I need to be Bert, because he says less. Okay. And I think that's important, because I just want to see what we do and how it works out. So let's get cracking right now with Auntie Carol when you're ready.
Cool. And you want the accents, is that right?
Yeah. This is London 62.
Yeah. Cool. Here, Alf, my window got proper smashed in by them Brown Street toe rags. If my father were alive, they'd be smeared all over the pavement, and no mistake.
What do you want, eh? Money for the windows? God, if it's not one thing, it's another.
Now, ain't about Alf. This is my Auntie Carol. It's family. Brown Street are taking liberties.
Now, I know, Bert, it's just getting expensive keeping this here neighbourhood in airs and graces.
No wonder London's going to the dogs. Not if people don't stick up for ordinary folks, it ain't. Who's this?
Hello, Carol. Here, what's happened to your windows?
Them Brown Street cants, that's what. Interfering in an old woman, man, make no mistake.
Bert, we need to talk.
Is that all you want?
Get off. That's why we're in this mess.
Miss? What mess? You mean?
Well, what you got to say for yourself?
Come on, we need to fix them now.
Yeah.
Is that all I get? Silence?
I've left.
Don't knock silence, Beff. As you get older, you want more of it.
Oh, Carol, I've made a terrible mistake.
What has he done now? Come on, let's get you out of the cold.
Carol takes Beth into her shop. The irony being with a smashed window, it'll still be cold in there.
Yeah.
Now, what we did quite well there, and I think was quite accurate, was we were really sort of shouting at one another, which is what they do.
They?
Yeah. So, well, you've seen like EastEnders and that,
Sure.
which is a very accurate representation of what they're like. So you go, yeah. So you just, yeah. So all of that was good, but we've just got to maybe take some of the pace off. I think we should swap because I got it the wrong way round. I think Bert's the bigger role, not Alf. Alf just goes here, what, here. So I'll do that. But yeah, keep the levels up because it's shouting.
You do like that, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
But maybe slow it down to get all the words out. You get really the menace.
Yeah.
Right.
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 All of them.
Get all of the words out, not some of the words out.
Okay.
And as you said, like you noticed that what I did was I've helped you a bit, mainly you. I've helped you with the spelling.
Yeah.
So really look at that.
Yeah. Cool.
Landen.
Yeah. Drag that out.
Landen.
Landon. Yeah.
Landen. With the A, because it's A's. It's not O's.
Absolutely, yeah. Okay.
Right, let's go.
Okay. Now you're Alf.
I'm Alf.
Yeah. Here, Alf. My window got proper smashed in by them Brown Street toe rags. If my father were alive, they'd be smeared all over the pavement and no mistake.
What do you want, eh? Money for the windows? Gold. If it's not one thing, it's another.
Now hang about, Alf. This is my Auntie Carol. It's family. Brand Street are taking liberties.
Oh no, Bert. It's just getting expensive keeping this here neighbourhood in airs and graces.
No wonder Landon's going to the dogs. Not if people don't stick up for ordinary folks, it ain't. Who's this?
Hello, Carol. Here, what's happened to your windows?
Them Brown Street cants. That's what. Interfering on an old woman and make no mistake.
Bert, we need to talk.
Oh, is that all you want?
Get off. That's why we're in this mess.
Mess? What mess? Oh, you mean?
Well, what you got to say for yourself?
Come on, we need to fix them. Nah.
Yeah.
Is that all I get then? Silence?
Don't knock silence, Beff. As you get older, you want more and more of it.
Oh, Carol, I've made a terrible mistake.
What has he done there? Come on, let's get you out of the cold.
Yep. That was an improvement, I think, in many ways. What this relates to, like, you've probably seen things like the Krays. Have you heard of the Krays?
Yep.
Yeah, like the Kray twins. So this is sort of, it's not about them, but it's around about the same time and people with sort of similar names. I suppose, we've seen lots of films directly about them, and I thought, well, if we're going to make a series, the problem is, if you're following a person's life, you have to somewhat do what they did, whereas if you make a series of something, you just make stuff up. Now, with the Krays, probably the definitive version of them was the one by Spandau Ballet about 30 years ago. You seen that one? So that was pretty. The bloke with the husky voice.
Tom Hardy.
Yes.
Yeah.
He did one, but he was playing both of them.
Yeah.
But I think it was helpful that in the Spandau Ballet version, that wasn't happening. So they could actually look at each other and they're like, oh no, he's definitely there.
Do they get the brothers to play them?
Yeah, that's right.
Right.
Tony Hadley wasn't in it. but as far as I know, he may have been in the background. But that one, I saw it years ago, and I thought that's, in a way, it was an inspiration for this.
Mm.
And since then, you've had things like Lock, Stock and Two Smoking Barrels. So that was something that, you know, brought all that back. But that wasn't set in the 60s. That was set in the 90s, which is when it was shot. And they made a big thing about, we've got Vinnie Jones, the footballer, in it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Good film. Sting was in it too. Didn't sing, but he was in it. Good film, but I do think that if Vinnie Jones wasn't in it, it wouldn't have been as good because they didn't have that marketing. We wouldn't have known about it. Vinnie Jones is basically why Guy Ritchie has a career, if he still does. We'll do it a third time. How do you think you could do better? I don't want to put words in your mouth.
How could I do better? Maybe you might make my voice a bit older, I guess. Auntie Carol to me sounds like she's a bit older.
Yeah, he's about 60.
Yeah. Right, okay, so sort of maybe a bit of a croak, as you were doing when you were playing Alf. I noticed that you
Alf's not that old.
Is he not?
Not as old as 60.
Right, okay.
So he's probably in his 30s, but the thing with him is he's seen a few things.
Right, he's lived a life.
I've seen a few things.
Yeah.
Drunk a lot of whiskey. Because you have to, didn't you? Particularly back then.
Just to get by, I suppose.
So, older, what would you do? You have to be more pregnant. You haven't been pregnant
yes, I
enough.
have to be more pregnant.
Yeah.
Really
Well,
feel
what does
it.
that entail?
I mean, really feel it
Yeah?
in me.
Could use a cushion or something, I suppose.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
No, well, they're all the
that's
they're all
a
the
bit of a
long.
funny
they're all the
shape.
wrong.
That's a bit weird.
Imagine a baby like that.
Yeah.
What would you do differently?
I was just wondering if I should go full Michael Caine, you know, just
Michael
like really lean
Caine.
into like Michael Caine of it all. Now, hang about, Alf. This is Marty Carroll. It's family.
Oh, like, would you look at the camera now and you get like Alfie, like he goes...
Right. Exactly. Do some mugging to camera. I mean, depends what you want, but
I don't want you to do that.
okay.
No. So, well, having self-diagnosis is good.
Yeah.
I would say second one was better than the first one. To make the third one better than the second one, really sort of grittify it.
Okay.
It's dirty. The winters are broken. It's raining.
Okay.
No, it's not raining now. It was raining. Cobbled streets. Muddy. And wet. All right?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Here, Alf. My window got proper smashed up by them Brand Street toe rags. If my father were alive, they'd be smeared all over the pavement and no mistake.
What do you want, eh? Money for windows. Gold. If it's not one thing, it's another.
Now hang about, Alf.
Not
This is-
not that bad, not that much. A bit less.
Now hang about, Alf. This is my Auntie Carol. Do you want to try it?
No, just carry on like that. That's okay.
Now hang about, Alf. This is my Auntie Carol. It's family. Brown Street are taking liberties.
I know, but it's just getting expensive keeping this here neighbourhood in airs and graces.
No wonder London's going to the dogs. Not if people don't stick up for ordinary folks, it ain't. Who's this?
Hello, Carol. Yeah, what's happened to your windows?
Them Brand Street cans, that's what. Interfering on an old woman and no mistake.
But we need to talk.
Oh, is that what you want?
Get her off. That's why we're in this mess.
Mess? What mess? Oh, you mean...
Well, what you got to say for yourself?
Come on, we need to fix them. Nah.
Yeah.
Is that all I get then? Silence!
Don't knock silence, Beff. As you get older, you want more and more of it.
Oh, Carol, I made a terrible mistake.
Oh, what the? Oh, what has he done now? Come on, let's get you out of the cold.
Yeah, it's cold as well because not just raining. It's always winter.
Oh yeah, it's London.
In the 60s.
So, are you going to set it all? If you were to do it, it would just be winter the whole
Well,
time.
there wouldn't be too many happy moments.
I see. Mm-hmm.
In which case, sunshine is out of place. So that was interesting. I mean, we definitely got grittier. Certainly the characters felt more lived in. And you could see, that's the third attempt, and you could see the change. I mean, we filmed it. If you saw the difference between the first take and the third take, you would say that's a big difference. Now, you could make the argument that the second take was still better than the third take, that maybe we went too far. You copied me a bit, maybe with the voice.
Fair enough.
A little bit. Only 3 goes.
Sure.
Don't get, it's not bad, it's not a criticism. But it's like, take your own route.
Yeah.
And you're happy. Were you happy with that? Or was there a problem?
No, yeah. I mean, obviously it's not my casting, but yeah, it was quite, I felt like it got better.
You got older.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She really did, didn't she?
Yeah.
She got older.
Really sounded
that's
good.
good.
Sounded good.
Yeah.
And I feel like you really nailed the line of like, don't knock silence, you learn to appreciate it like that. Like, I feel like you got the humour of that and kind of really blossomed as the takes went on. It was really nice.
It's a good line, that.
Yeah, it's a great line. It's
Yeah.
a great line.
That's right, yeah. I was happy with that one.
Yeah.
And that was it more pregnant? More concerned, like more like, oh no, I'm in trouble.
Yeah.
So that was an upside.
Mm.
I don't know if I'd say you were more pregnant at the start, but stuff to work on.